Hello friends, welcome to daily discussion on current affairs. So the first topic that we'll discuss today is related to value of attributing extreme weather events to climate change. Okay, climate change is a major factor in leading to the extreme weather event. Last week, a team of climate scientists called the World Weather Attribution (WWA) reported that heat wave across Asia from the west to the southeast has been rendered nearly 45 times more likely by climate change. That means so climate change are the major reason for the extreme weather events. Okay, in Asian continent. Just a couple of decades ago, UN Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change (IPCC) argued that individual weather events could not be attributed to climate change. Researchers now have been able to attribute some individual extreme event to climate change. Earlier they told that it cannot be related, but now they are saying that so individual events can also be linked to the climate change. Okay. Uh, Even Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change (IPCC), it is a United Nations body for assessing the science related to climate change. IPCC was created by the United Nations Environment Programme (UNEP) and the World Meteorological Organization (WMO) in 1988. Okay, so it is an UN body, you can say. Okay, so it has 195 member country currently, including India. It was created to provide. So okay, so it has 195 member country currently, including India. Okay, it has created to provide policymaker with regular scientific assessment on climate change, its implication and potential future risk, as well as putting forward practical adoption and mitigation options. Okay, definition say about the extreme weather events. So how it defined? So when the weather conditions show significant difference than the usual weather, this is termed as extreme weather or severe weather condition. Okay. Time duration, the extreme weather condition may last for a while, or sometimes it may take just 1 or 2 days to become normal. That is called the extreme weather condition. Impact, according to the World Meteorological Organization, extreme weather, climate and weather related events caused 11,778 reported disasters globally, leading to more than 2 million deaths and 4.3 trillion US dollar in economic loss between 1970 to 2021. Over 90% of the reported death worldwide occur in developing countries because severe climate change has a major impact on the developing country than on the developed country. In India, 573 disasters occurred between 1970 and 2021 that claimed 1,38,377 lives. That is what it showed the its devastating effect. Exercise, so concerned exercise to pick extreme event to attribute. Scientists use multiple approaches in their attribution exercise to answer the same question and have added that the difference between them are immaterial. Difficult to attribute according to climate change evidence and causes. A jointly produced publication of the US National Academy of Science and the Royal Society. It is quite difficult to attribute any particular extreme weather event to climate change. This is because there are multiple factors like pattern of natural climate variability such as El Nino and La Nina that contribute to such events. So it's not that only extreme climate event can be attributed for this, but lot many factors are associated. The actual impact of extreme event depend not only on the hazard or the extreme event but also on the vulnerability and the exposure of the population affected. Okay. Then impact of climate change and extreme weather events. Extreme temperature. The average global temperature on Earth has increased by at least 1.1 degrees Celsius since 1850, primarily due to human activity that have released unprecedented level of greenhouse gas into the atmosphere. The rise in the temperature has resulted in more frequent and more intense extreme weather events across the world. These events include heat waves, drought, flood, hurricanes, and wildfires. Heatwave climate models show that heat waves might become about 12 times more frequent by 2040 due to climate change. This is the present projection that heat wave will increase uh, by 12 times within a very short time span of 2040. Okay, and this is because of the reason cited is climate change. Loss and damage. While no formal cost benefit analysis of an attribution exercise has been reported, many experts have argued that attribution are critical for loss and damage processes. Okay. Loss and damage fund was reported proposed during the COP27 in Sharm el Sheikh, Egypt in 2022. It will operate through an independent secretariat located at the World Bank and has received commitment to at least 450 million from various countries. However, a significantly larger sum is necessary to fulfill its intended purpose. If we want to fulfill its intended purpose, the requirement will be much more than the $450 million as promised by the countries. Adequate financing, there is a need to take stock of the international finance aspect of adaptation, mitigation, and L&D. Responsibility, loss and damage. L&D stands for loss and damage. Responsibility, governments should consider an agreement on historical responsibility to fund developing country and close adoption gap, build adoption capacity and finance mitigation for the global good. Analysis, the real world is severely resource constrained and need a cost benefit analysis based on a clear role for attribution in the overall climate action landscape. The next topic is about the BIMSTEC Charter coming to force. BIMSTEC stands for Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical Economic Cooperation. It was launched as BIST-EC, then changed to BIMSTEC-EC. Recently, the BIMSTEC acquired legal personality after the first charter came into force, which allowed the organization to add new member and observer. Although this is functioning, but it don't have a charter. It functions without any charter, means no bylaw, no guidelines. Okay, no written rules for operating the organization. Adoption of the BIMSTEC Charter after the pandemic, the leader of BIMSTEC nation convened virtually on March 30, 2022, chaired by Sri Lanka, and endorsed the charter. The adoption of the BIMSTEC Charter took place during the 5th summit in March 2022. Thailand assumed the chairmanship of BIMSTEC following the 5th Leaders Summit. Right now, Thailand is the leader, the head chair. BIMSTEC Charter ratification, Nepal Parliament addressed the BIMSTEC Charter in April 24, ratifying it and facilitating its entry into force. Nepal was the last country to ratify it before it came into force. Consequently, the BIMSTEC Charter is reported to have become effective on May 20th, 2024. So, just recently, the BIMSTEC Charter came into force. Okay, May 2024. And the last country to ratify is Nepal Parliament. Once the Nepal Parliament ratified it, so this BIMSTEC Charter came into force. Significance of BIMSTEC as a legal personality. BIMSTEC legal recognition with the charter now in effect, BIMSTEC has gained a legal personality, meaning it possesses right and responsibility under the law. This enables it to engage in structural diplomatic discussions with other groups and nations. The activation of the charter establishes a legal and institutional framework for fostering substantial cooperation and enhanced integration within the Bay of Bengal region. So, Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation. Okay. So, BIMSTEC is an economic bloc established in June 1997 as the Bangkok Declaration as BIST-EC. Initially, countries supported Bangladesh, India, Sri Lanka, and Thailand. BIST, B-I-S-T. B for Bangladesh, I for India, S for Sri Lanka, and T for Thailand. It initially launched as BIST-EC. Nepal joined as observer state in 1998 and later became a full-time member alongside Bhutan in February 2004. Member of BIMSTEC include Bangladesh, India, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, Thailand, Nepal, and Bhutan. So the name has been changed to BIMSTEC from BIST. Secretariat is in Dhaka in Bangladesh. Okay. Goal to address the impact of globalization by fostering regional growth through collaborative efforts, leveraging regional resources and geographical advantages. Significance of BIMSTEC. So approximately 22% of the global population resides in the 7 countries surrounding the Bay of Bengal, boasting a collective GDP nearly 2.7 trillion. From 2012 to 2016, all 7 nations maintained average annual growth rate ranging between 3.4% to 7.5%. Moreover, a quarter of the world's traded goods traverse the Bay of Bengal annually. Area collaboration, BIMSTEC priority areas. BIMSTEC operate as a sector-focused operative organization, initially encompassing 6 sectors: trade, technology, energy, transport, tourism, and fisheries. Presently, BIMSTEC has expanded to 13 priority area of cooperation, which climate, change added as the 14th priority in 2008. Within this priority, member countries select which one they are willing to lead. For instance, India leads in transport and communication, tourism, environment, and disaster management, as well as counter-terrorism and traditional transnational crime. Different states have been given responsibility to handle different issues at the BIMSTEC forum, and India has taken the responsibility to lead in the transport and communication, tourism, environment and disaster management, as well as counter-terrorism and transnational crime issues. Political affiliation of the judges. Next topic is topic on polity. Political affiliation refers to an individual's identification, association with a particular political party or ideology. Membership, it often involves being a member of a political party, includes supporting a party's candidate, policy and platform, cooling up period for judges, bureaucracy about joining the politics. This period is the time during which judges, bureaucracy are allowed to join politics. There is a provision of mandating at least 2 years for judges and bureaucracy before joining active politics. This provision is helpful in building public confidence and preventing allegation of quid pro quo. That means when they are in service, they support the party in power and do favor to them. So once their tenure is over, they are immediately taken by political parties. Okay. Participating in activities such as voting in primaries, attending party meetings and campaigning. Okay. Beliefs, holding belief and value that high with a specific political party. Donation, financial contribution to a political party or its candidate. Timeline for change in the political ideology in judicial appointment in India. Pre-1970s, political ideology was not a major factor in judicial appointment, because it is that judicial independence is maintained by the constitution. Article 124, according to the procedure, the president appoints Supreme Court judges after consulting with selected judges from the High Court and Supreme Court. The Chief Justice of India must be consulted in all appointments except for the appointment of the CJI themselves. Article 127, High Court judges are appointed by the President following consult with the Chief Justice of India and govern the respective state. Additionally, the Chief Justice of the relevant High Court must also be consulted in the appointment of process of the other judges. The shift in appointment practice after 1970, the practice shifted from the Indira Gandhi government faced Supreme Court setback in key cases, Goloknath case, Bank National case, and the Privy Purse case, abolition case. The setback forced ministers to start arguing for considering ideology in Supreme Court appointment. Impact of Justice M.N. Chandukar, despite qualification, his elevation to Supreme Court was blocked. Reason for disapproval: attendance of RSS leaders' funeral and positive remark about the leader led to Indira Gandhi to put a ban on Okay, since 1990, judicial appointment have been made through the collegium system. Collegium consists head by the chairperson, that's CJI, and all the members of the collegium belong to the judicial fraternity. Okay, the system presume judicial neutrality and accept judges to avoid overt. The collegium system handles the appointment and transfer of judges in the Supreme Court and the High Court. It is not based on constitution but has developed through Supreme Court judgment. Structure and function: Supreme Court, the Chief Justice of India, CJI plus 4 senior-most judges are part of the collegium. The recommended judicial appointment and transfer. The High Court collegium, this collegium comprises Chief Justice. Okay, So the collegium comprises chief justice of the High Court plus two senior most judges. Government's role can raise objection, ask for clarification, but ultimately bound by collegium's recommendation because it cannot add any member from outside in the appointment. It can reject, can raise objection, but it cannot add a new member beyond the selection or beyond the recommendation of the collegium in the appointment of the judges. That is called the importance. This shows the importance of the collegium system in the appointment to the judiciary. Immanuel Kant's legacy and relevance in the today's world. Contribution of moral thinkers and philosophers. This article discussed Immanuel Kant's legacy and relevance on the 30,000th birth anniversary. It highlights his ideas against the colonialism for global citizenship, the perpetual peace. It criticizes contemporary global power dynamics and calls for a blend of Kantian and ancient Indian ethical principle. Okay. Then Kant's idea, key idea, rejection of imperialism and colonialism. Kant opposed imperialism, colonialism, and slavery, advocating for the autonomy of the nations and individuals. Okay. Support of open trade and immigration. He believed in the benefit of open trade and supported the right to refugee and free movement of people. Concept of world citizen. Kant introduced the idea of a world citizen who could travel freely across borders, promoting global unity. Emphasis on reason, rationality, and morality. Kant stressed that political action should be guided by reason, rationality, and ethical principle. Okay, so events non self-governing territory. Kant's rejection of imperialism and colonialism is relevant in the 17 territories still that seek self-governance, reflecting ongoing colonial legacy. Modern challenges. Kant's vision of perpetual peace contrast with today's reality of global terrorism, multinational cooperation, and AI-driven warfare. What is India's perspective? Ancient strategic culture. India values its rich strategic culture, drawing wisdom from texts like the Ramayana, Mahabharata, Arthashastra, and the Tirupura. These ancient texts judge statecraft, war, and diplomacy through the lens of ethics and morality. G20 presidency. During the G20 presidency, India promoted the motto One Earth, One Family, One Future, inspired by the concept of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Serving humanity. India ethos of serving humanity is rooted in its ancient cultural heritage, combining Kantian and Indian ideas. India seeks value in blending Kant's ideas with its own ancient teaching to create a new moral compass for the world. This approach aims to provide ethical guidance in international relations. So then the pig butchering scam. Pig butchering scam, a type of online financial fraud, are on rise worldwide, including India. The term pig butchering refers to the scammer's strategy of fattening off their victim by gradually building trust before the slaughtering them and stealing their money. Pig butchering is a worldwide investment scam that originated in China. Okay, and gained significance prominence during the pandemic. Alternate name, it is called the Saju Pan scam. Fraud type, an online investment scam where fraudsters take fake identity to deceive victims into investing in fraudulent schemes. Method involved in this pig butchering scam. Contract tactics. The scam starts with a host reaching out to potential victim through social media, dating apps, or deceptive message. Establishing fake friendship. Once a target referred to as a pig is identified, the host establishes a fake friendship and encourages them to venture into cryptocurrency trading. Deceptive trading app. The host uses a fake trading app to trick the victim into thinking they are earning profit from fabricated traders. Building trust. So increasing investment. The victim's trust deepens. The host convinces them to invest more money, a tactic known as the fattening the pig. Challenges in the fraud retrieval. When victims attempt to withdraw their funds, the fraudulent platform either offers excuse or impose hefty fee, ultimately exposing the scam. Due to the characteristics of the blockchain transactions, retrieving lost funds is extremely difficult. Then the common victim of peak budget come people facing loneliness or isolation, individual with limited financial literacy or investment experience, those undergoing substantial life changes or emotional upheavals. Okay, so middle aged and older individual with substantial saving or retirement funds, naturally trusting or empathetic individuals, users frequenting platforms such as Telegram and Instagram, homemakers and retired individuals seeking fat money opportunity are the victim of this big butchery. Then the psychedelic drugs in India, something new, psychedelic drugs. Okay, then about the driven by the need for better mental health treatment and the low success rate of current medication, researchers are calling for clinical trials of psychedelic drugs in India. Psychedelics are a class of drugs that alter perceptions, behavior, consciousness, and thought, often intensifying sensory awareness. Psychedelics are a class of drugs that alter perception, behavior, consciousness, and thought, often intensifying sensory awareness. The drugs, a subset of psychotropic substances, are known for causing vivid hallucination and drastically changing the individual's thought and perception. Classical psychedelics primarily cause hallucinations by activating the serotonin 5-HT receptor found throughout the body. Example include the LSD, that psilocybin, and the DMT. Non-classical psychedelics interact with various receptors. Notable example are the ketamine and the MDMA. How do they work? Psychedelics typically enhance serotonin, a mood stabilizing hormone, by binding a serotonin receptor to cell surface, triggering specific biochemical reactions. Research and clinical use: five psychedelics, that psilocybin, LSD, MDMA, ketamine, and the MDT, are being extensively studied for treating mental health issues. Regulation: the 1971 UN Convention on Psychotropic Substance regulates about. Okay, 1971 UN Convention on Psychotropic Substances regulate about 200 psychotropic substances globally, categorizing them into four schedules based on abuse potential, with Schedule 1 being the most restrictive. The convention does not specify the exact number of types of classified psychedelics. Then the preeclampsia is a hypertensive disorder of pregnancy that leads to multi-organ dysfunction in the mother. It typically manifests after 20 weeks of pregnancy, characterized by high blood pressure. Other symptoms include swelling in the face, hands, and feet, severe headache, vision change, upper abdominal pain, and trouble breathing. Studies show that preeclampsia significantly raises the risk of heart failure, coronary heart disease, stroke, and cardiovascular death in mothers. India's advanced pregnancy outcome. India's account for nearly a quarter of the world advanced pregnancy outcomes. That National Family Survey 5 statistics show perinatal mortality at 32% per thousand pregnancies, and neonatal mortality at 25% per thousand live births. Hypertension disorder in pregnancy are a leading cause of maternal death in India. Then the Artificial Intelligence Act. The European Union has finalized the world's first comprehensive law regulating artificial intelligence, known as the AI Act. This legislation sets strict rules for AI application, categorizing them based on the risk they pose to society. High-risk AI systems such as autonomous vehicles and medical devices face stringent evaluation, while AI applications demand unacceptable, like social scoring system, predictive policing, and emotional organism recognition, are prohibited. Company violating the AI Act could face fines of up to 35 million euro, or 7% of their annual global revenues. The law aimed at ensuring trust, transparency, and accountability, includes provisions for generative AI system to respect copyright law and undergo routine testing. Then a Copernicus EMS. Uh, ଆସୁତା ଛାଡ଼ିଦେଲ ବ୍ୟସ୍ତ ଲିଟଲ୍ ପିଜି କହୁଛି ପଚାର ତ କହୁଥିଲି କ୍ଲାସ୍ ମୁଁ ଅଛି ଗୋଟେ କ୍ଲାସ୍ ସାରି କହୁଛି. The Copernicus program is an EU initiative that utilizes the satellite and ground-based data to address climate change, disaster management, and other global challenges. The Copernicus Emergency Management System is a component of the broader Copernicus program, an initiative by the European Union aimed at providing comprehensive Earth observatory and monitoring services. The Copernicus EMS specifically focus on delivering timely and accurate geospatial information to support emergency response effort during natural disasters, humanitarian crises, and other emergencies. Then the Nagliaria fowleri, the girl from Kerala has died from the amoebic meningococcus phalitis, a rare brain infection caused by the Nagliaria fowleri known as the brain-eating amoeba. That Nagliaria fowleri is a type of amoeba, an unicellular organism found in soil, warm freshwater lake, rivers, and the hot spring. If that amoeba enters the nose and reaches the brain, it can cause a severe infection known as the primary amoebic meningitis. Due to its ability to infect and destroy brain tissue, that Naegleria floweri is often referred as the brain-eating amoeba. While infections caused by this organism are rare, they are almost always fatal. Then the Ferropotis, a recent study by researchers has identified Ferropotis, an unusual form of cell death. Okay, so that ferroptosis occur when the outer fat layer of the cell collapse leading to cell death. This differ from the more common type of cell death where cell break down their internal molecules. The study analyzes human tissue and autopsy of the COVID-19 victim along with the sample from the hamster, revealing that ferroptosis was the primary mechanism. Okay, the study analyzed human tissue and autopsies of the COVID-19 victim. That ferroptosis is a form of regulated cell death characterized by the iron-dependent accumulation of lipid peroxide to lethal levels. Unlike other form of cell death such as the apoptosis or the necrosis, ferroptosis significantly involves the oxidative damage of lipids within cell membranes, leading to cell membrane destabilization and ultimately the death of the cell. Malaria vaccine R21 matrix M. The Serum Institute of India has begun exporting the R21 matrix M malaria vaccine to Africa, targeting children in malaria endemic region of Africa. Developed in collaboration with the University of Oxford and the Novavax matrix M adjunct. It is the second malaria vaccine recommended by WHO in 2023 after the TRS SAS01 vaccine. Malaria is a life-threatening disease caused by parasites that are transmitted to people through the bites of infected female Anopheles mosquito. It is preventable and curable, but it remains a major public health problem, particularly in tropical and subtropical region. And Asia and Africa are major victim of this, including India. It is also a big issue because India is also number of deaths regularly occurred in India due to this malaria. So component of the virtual water, primary production water. This component refers to the direct water used in the cultivation of agricultural products such as crops and livestock. It includes rainwater and irrigation water needed to grow plants and raise animals. Example, in India, irrigation consume about 84% of the total available water. Irrigation. Okay. Uh, a secondary production water, also known as the industrial water, it component represents the water used in the manufacturing and processing of goods. It covers the water required for processing, cleaning, cooling, and other industrial processes. Example, industrial sector consume about 12% of total available water in the country. Processing and packaging water. This component includes the water used in processing, packaging, and preparing products for distribution and consumption. It encompasses activity like cleaning, sorting, packaging, and labeling. Transportation water. Water is used indirectly in the transportation of goods from production site to market. This includes the water consumed in various transportation modes such as trucks, ship, trains, and planes. Distribution water. This component accounts for a water used in distributing products to retail outlet and consumers. It includes activity like warehousing, refrigeration, and retail operations. Consumption water, the final component of reflect the water into consume or use to use a product. For example, the water used to brew coffee, wash cloth, or cook food after purchasing the goods. So that pertinence of virtual water in the strategic management of water resources within the Indian intricate drainage system. Water efficient trade. By comprehending the virtual water content of export like rice, cotton, and sugar, India can strategically shift from the water intensive crop to less demanding crop, optimizing water use. For example, Punjab and Haryana, significant rice producers, could transition from rice cultivation to less water intensive crops such as the pulses, promoting sustainable agriculture. Import and export decisions. Virtual water guides water intensive import decisions. High virtual water content suggest import over domestic production, relieving water stress regions. India's soybean oil import from Brazil exemplify efficient water use due to virtual water awareness in Brazil. Water footprint of industry. Industry carries substantial virtual water footprints from manufacturing to water consumption. Assessment of product virtual water content empowers policymakers to promote water efficient practices, attracting region compatible industry. For example, Tamil Nadu's Tripur textile sector embraced eco-friendly dyeing, reducing water use, a testament to virtual water's role in the sustainable industry. Interstate water sharing. Virtual water analysis can aid just interstate water sharing. Surplus state can prioritize high virtual water content crop, while deficit state can opt for less water intensive crop, promoting efficient allocation and reducing disputes. The Kabri dispute between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu underscores virtual water role in equitable allocation and crop selection. Urbanization and food demand. Virtual water content is beneficial in urban planning and agricultural policy for promoting sustainable food production amid urbanization. Urban gardening and rooftop farming of vegetable with low virtual water content can help enhance food security. The vertical farming, which involves cultivating water efficient crop like leafy greens, showcase the role of virtual water in achieving urban sustainability. To conclude, the paradigm of virtual water offers a transformative avenue for India's water resource management. By harnessing this concept uh, innovatively through smart agricultural shift, leveraging global trade dynamics, promoting water-savvy industries, fostering collaborative interstate agreement, and integrating urban farming initiative, India can pave the path for a future where water scarcity is mitigated, ecological equilibrium is restored, and a harmonious coexistence with our intricate drainage system is realized. Then come to the MCQ. Which of the following statement about the amoeba incorrect? Amoeba reduce the binary fission, which one cell divides into two identical daughter cells. Wrong. Amoeba have a fixed shape due to their rigid cell wall. That is right. That is incorrect. This don't have a rigid wall cell wall. So B is incorrect. All the three are correct. Consider the following statement: malaria is caused by a virus transmitted by the mosquito. The most deadly form of malaria is caused by the Plasmodium falciparum, right? The Anopheles mosquito is the primary vector of the transmitting malaria. The parasite, not a virus. Okay. So here two are correct. Then which of the following are common byproduct of the sugar industry? Common byproducts includes molasses, bagasse, press mode, and the ethanol. D is the right answer. The Copernicus program is an initiative of the European Union. Which of the following statement correctly distinguish between the biohydrogen and green hydrogen? Biohydrogen is produced through electrolysis. No. Why does it produce? Option: biological process involving microorganism, whereas green hydrogen is produced by splitting water using renewable energy source like the solar or wind power. B is the right answer. Consider the following statement: Election Commission of India has decided the location of the polling station. The ECI is responsible for the conduct of election to officers of the president and vice president, right? It is legally mandated to disclose the vote turnout data to the public. So here also two are correct. Consider the following for the Naegleria fowleri. It is a bacteria, single-celled living organism that lives in soil and warm fresh water such as the lake, river, and hot spring. The Naegleria fowleri can lead a severe inflammation and destruction of the lungs, tissue, and human brain, not brain, not lung. So only one is correct. So single cell, no, both are incorrect. Both. So neither one nor two are correct because both are incorrect. Okay. Then which of the following member country is not a BIMSTEC member? Bhutan, India, Nepal, Maldives is not a member of BIMSTEC. Consider the following: the pig butchering scam. The term pig butchering refers to the scammers' strategy of fattening off their victim by gradually building trust before slaughtering them and stealing their money. Right? Pig butchering is a worldwide investment scam that originated in China and gained significant prominence during the pandemic. Both one and two are correct. Consider the following about the artificial intelligence. The European Union has finalized the world's first comprehensive law regulating AI, known as the AI Act. Companies involving in AI Act should face fines of up to 35 million euro and 7% of their annual global turnover. Here both one and two are correct. So keep on watching regularly. Thank you for watching.